Hey guys, it's PrincessEducator, and today I will be doing a childcare tips part 2 video. I already did part 1 like a year ago, so I will leave the link in the description box or in the cards. It probably will be in the description box, so make sure you check that video out. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get to this segment. I would probably call this video, I want to say call this video, but when I'm focused on things like my career field, like education, childcare, all that, I like to call myself Princess Educator. So that's like my other alter, I can't pronounce it. That's my other persona or alter ego. So Princess Educator, this is her, okay? She's still glam, she's still giving princess vibes, but she's talking about education, being an educator pretty much. So I'm gonna go ahead and go over a few tips that I have for this video. I really try not to repeat the same tips that I did in the first video because I gave a lot of good tips for beginners who are starting childcare. So if you would like to see that video, go ahead and watch that video after or before this one and come back. So let's go ahead and get started with this video because I know you guys are waiting. So one of the tips that I recommend for people who are, I'll say you're getting into childcare too, or this is like your first year or two. So these are tips that I can give you right here in this video. So I would like to recommend you to know your state regulations, your requirements as a childcare teacher or worker. For example, you need to look up what are the requirements to work at one. One of them is to get a background check, which is one of the tips that I gave you in the last video. A background check. You will need a CPR first aid certification. You will need to know what is the proper hand washing technique. Usually it is, run the water, whatever. Get your hands wet, get soap, then proceed, to do all this. And you also have to teach your children, your students, that same method too. So you have to follow the proper hand washing technique, and you need to wash about 20 minutes. I tell my kids 25, maybe 30, but I say at least 20 seconds. That's what they're recommending. But you need to know those proper hand washing techniques, how to change a diaper. So you can also look it up. So type in your state. So if you live in Mississippi, type in Mississippi childcare hand washing techniques. Mississippi diapering techniques. I'm pretty sure it's the same, but some may differ a little bit. So make sure you look that up. Also look up Mississippi childcare ratios. In my state, I live in Georgia, so for infants, it's 1 to 6, so 1 teacher and 6 kids. But the maximum is like 12, so that means 2 teachers can be in that room if y'all have 12. And same thing with the toddler. If they're toddler ones and they're not walking, you will only have about 8. And the maximum, I think it's, I don't want to get it wrong, I think it's 16 or 12. I gotta look back on it. But anyway, so it's stuff like that. So you need to know your ratios on the top of your head. And I've been doing this for about 4 years, so it is embedded in my brain. Now, if I go to another state, I will have to relearn all that. I know in Alabama, I think the infant one is 1 through 4, and I'm not sure about the toddler. I need to look that up. But whatever state that you're planning to work in childcare, I recommend you to look that up so you can make sure you have it in your head and not dependent on your director to give you the information or your co-worker, whatever. I say look that up for yourself. So make sure you know these proper regulations in your head already before you even start, or as soon as you start. Like, go ahead and get it embedded into your brain. Also with supervision and all that, you can look up Georgia Supervision Technique. Basically you're just watching the students. I feel like that's for any state, whatever. Just watch them. You can still play with the kids, but still like look at, look at Bob over there in housekeeping, so still have an eye looking around the classroom even while you're playing or assessing another child. Now, if you have another teacher, okay, all means good, but still pay attention. You still have to do your part, you know. So that's one of the tips that I have for this first one. So know your state regulations and all that. Get certified. If you would like to make more money in childcare and all that, and not make minimum wage, which is ridiculous, I do recommend you, one, to get certified. Get some type of credential, like a CDA, in preschool, toddler, in infant, whatever. What else? So you can get your CDA. A TCC is a technical college certificate, and that's like a few college credits, like a few, you know, I probably say at least 30 or 60. You can do that, but basically you go into school every day. Now CDAs are mainly like, I want to say a quick way. I won't say that, but you don't have to borrow from financial aid, if that makes sense. Basically, you're paying out of pocket, which is what I'm doing. But you can get that, a paraprofessional, which I also have because I passed the test. So you need to get a passing score, and in Georgia the passing score is 250. So that is a passing score for Georgia to be a paraprofessional or to get that certification. But as long as you pass that test and you have that test result, you can take it anywhere, and you just show proof to whatever job, school that you're wanting to work at. You just have that with you. So paraprofessional, which I have, and that also kind of increased my pay rate, baby. And I also got college credit, so I have more than 60 college credits. So in order for you to get your paraprofessional certification or pass the test or take the test, you must have at least 60 credits or more. So I have more than 60 college credits, so I was able to go ahead and pass and all this. I passed it my first try. Yes, honey. But me, I like to have options in life. So just in case, let's just say a year from now, I don't want to work in childcare. I just want to take a break. So I can just go work at a school if I wanted to, and I can get paid, you know, a little bit more. But anyway, so those are one of the few options in credential wise. Now, if you want to be a director at someone's center or school, whatever, I recommend you get the director credential. In Georgia, it is 40 hours, so that is one way that you can get that. So you can type in, I don't know if y'all had GPDS, but we have it in Georgia. So basically, you just put all your credentials and certifications all up in there in one setting and all that. So that's one way, you know, that I know how to do it. But having, you know, extra credentials and stuff like that kind of increases your pay and it increases your worth, and also with experience too. So experience, credential, education does matter. Another tip that I can give you guys is classroom management. Now, me, I am good with kids all over, but sometimes I'm better in certain age groups than others. Like me, because of my sweet little voice and all of that, and my silly personality, I fit more in the toddler and preschool and kindergarten, like that type of field. Like I love the content. I just love it. It's so fun. You can do more silly things. They're just my personality, as y'all can see, you know. But so I like to sing and all that, and when you get into the upper grades, they looking at you like, nobody want to sing Wheels on a Bus go round and round. Like, what? So I love school age, don't get me wrong, but I mean, I love them the same amount as I do the other students, but I'm real good at, like, it's natural me to baby kids, if that makes sense. I don't know, maybe that may be a little bit weird to some people, but I can do it all. But I'm very good at the little I'm good with the infants. I just don't want to hear all that crying. But preschool, which I'm in now, like, I like that. That's my lane. You can do more things, shapes. Like, we went over cylinders and all that, money, like the other day. Now, I like to go over money in like March. I don't know. When I think of March, I think of money green. So we went over money and all that. And still, like, it's been like a month or two, and I need to go back and review it. But they still remember what is $1, $5? Like they still know that. Like they brought in a $5 bill. You know how kids have money with them. They're like, Miss Alexis, this is $5. I'm like, good, all that. So it's stuff like that just makes me happy, and I feel more like it's natural to me. So I feel like you need to find an age group that fits your personality and your patience. And a lot of people like, oh no, I want to teach the high school, baby. I ain't got patience with it. So I'm gonna stay with the lower grades. That's why my degree is in early childhood. Just saying. So know your lane and what classroom you feel like you're strong in. Also, classroom layout. Now, sometimes when you go to a center, whatever, it already laid out, but I have rearranged classrooms before myself. Now, I do recommend you to kind of research where to put things. So, like, it's a certain way you have to arrange your room. Like, you cannot have dramatic play near, what else they say? You can't have, because dramatic play and blocks are pretty loud. So you can kind of have them near each other. But if it's near the library, it's going to distract the quiet center more. So it's stuff like that. So, and classroom flow and exit. So stuff like that matters when you are setting up a classroom and all that. But I've done it before and all that. So, I had rearranged the 1-year-old classroom at my daycare and all that, and it looks so freaking nice. And I'm like, y'all, let me how you offer, like, let me do it. And I did, and the kids love it. Like, they're not able to run and all that. And you also don't want to have too much openness, because they will run and go out of control, because they're like, space, like, what is this? So it's stuff like that. So let's go ahead. That's pretty much that I have. Also, classroom management also boils down to children personalities. So I know when you first get in there, you're not gonna know their personalities right off the bat, but eventually, I say probably like a month or two, like with me, you kind of notice John don't like broccoli. I mean, even though we have to serve vegetables and all that, but you kind of expect him when he sees something green. Yeah, I want it. You know what I mean? So, you cannot force them to eat fruits and vegetables. You can encourage them. You're like, oh, what color is your broccoli? Green, stuff like that. So it's stuff like that. Like, you have to teach them while they're doing other things. Like, if they're outside, what color is the sky? If it's cloudy, they'll say gray or white. What's today's weather? Is it sunny? Is it rain? Stuff like that. So that kind of goes down with circle time, but you can also do that when it's not circle time. So if you guys are outside, always be teaching. Like, always be teaching, exploring with them. Even when they're getting on your nerves. I'm keep it real. They get on your nerves sometimes. They're kids. So let's just say if they, like, I'm gonna give a real life example. Let's just say one of your students is having trouble, they're having trouble putting it on their shoe. So, they're struggling. Now, first, I let them do it by themselves. I'm one of those people who do it by yourself, then come and get me or come and help, but I'll be near. So, and I'll kind of instruct them what to do. All right, put on your shoe like this. So it's stuff like that. You have to slow it down to their development. You know what I mean? So, and sometimes, like the other day, I had to show her how I put on my shoe. So I took off my shoe and did it with her, and pull it up. It's stuff like that. So sometimes you have to let them do it, watch them, give them some tips, then you also show them so they'll know how to do it. And eventually, the girl the other day, she was like, Miss Alexa, I don't need you to help me put on my shoe. I got my shoe on. So it's stuff like that. So I don't know. It's you also want to teach them other things besides shapes. You want to teach them real life skills, like brushing their teeth and all that, stuff like that. So that is my classroom management tip. So basically, getting to know them, know their strengths and their weaknesses and also better them in those areas. My last one is be organized. Now, I bought a classroom binder. So I have the incident reports in a sheet protector. I have the lesson plans in a sheet protector. The current one is on a different one. Then you know how you have the copies. I have it on another one. You want to have incident reports, daily reports, depending on what classroom you're in and what your center requires that you're working in. Daily reports. What else? Diapering sheets and logs. Um, Behavior calendar. The little chart, red, blue, green. Stuff like that. I was on red a lot, so when I was little. So it's stuff like that. You know, basically you want to be organized with your classroom materials, all that in one setting. So I recommend like a little binder or something like that. So you want to have an area for, construction paper, things like that, like your teacher tools. You want to keep them up high for some of them, like your glues, your big scissors that are not suitable for kids who got hands of your palm. So it's stuff like that. You have to put in safety precautions with your organization. So that's pretty much it that I can think of for this video. If you guys have any questions, please leave them down below and I will answer them. I will probably do a part 3 depending on the questions or what else I come with. It probably will be a year from now, and I'm trying not to let that happen. I probably will come back in a few months if I think of anything else. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.